And hello, everybody. It's almost time once again for some HTFL football. How are you doing this fine Wednesday, the 21st of October? And let me get in the shot here. Which one of these windows do I pull up? Oh, there I am. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all enjoying your day, and we'll try to get you out not too long into the World Series. Second game tonight between the Rays and the Dodgers. Dodgers smoked the Rays last night 8-3 as I look at myself in a 20-second delay, which is always kind of interesting. And I will chat with you all for a little bit, do my little warm up show. Think of it as like game shows where they do a warm up act. They have a comedian come in and they do a warm up act. That's what we try to do here every night for about 10 minutes or so before the game starts. Or you could think of it like the old game show You Bet Your Life. Again, another game show. Groucho Marx and who was the guy who was the side? George Fenneman. He was the sidekick for Marx, and they would always introduce the couple, and they would always do like a 5-10 minute bit. Oh, where are you from? I'm from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Oh, well, how's the weather up there? Like that. So in 7.5 minutes, we'll get underway. So it's kind of interesting that in my life, here we are in 2020, crazy 2020, and the Rays have won the world, are in the World Series. 12 years ago, I was living here in 2008, and the Rays were in the World Series. I was living in Atlanta in 1996. Atlanta was in the World Series that year. And oddly enough, the team representing the home area I was in, they lost every World Series. Braves lost in six to the Yankees. The Rays lost in five to the Phillies, and they're down 1-0 in this series. So that's kind of interesting. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do in terms of tomorrow with the debate. I'm going to do the game 7:30 regardless. I don't know if I'm just going to pre-tape it or I'm going to um, do it live. If I do it live, I should be done by the time the debate starts at 9 o'clock. Be done by about 8:45 out of Nashville. And there's already a bunch of legal maneuvering and wrangling going on, but that's a little too politicky for me to get into here on a sports sims forum. So we'll just leave it at that. Let's just say if this were a baseball game, the wheels would be turning, and it's going to be a very interesting couple of weeks, if not a time afterward. The way things are going. Uh, and again, I'm tempted to say more, but I will just leave it at that. So tonight's game is Tennessee at St. Louis. I don't know how good this game's going to be. I'll be honest with you. Tennessee is not all that good, but they're in a division where everybody is kind of not all that good. And St. Louis is one of the surprise stories for me in the HTFL so far. They've played very well. I think they've only lost three times. Uh, Pardon me for taking a swig of water before we get started. So yeah, there's that. Um, we have 5 minutes. We still got 5.5 minutes to go. That's something. I try to come on here about 5 to 10 minutes beforehand, say hello to everybody before we get started, and if people are chatting, I might stay on a few minutes afterwards. The Rays did not look good last night, I will say that, and I think they got their hands full of the Dodgers. The Rays are a very good team, but the Dodgers are one of those teams that are one of the best teams of all time with the way things are looking. If you extrapolate the record out, they played 60 games this year. If you extrapolate the record out 162 games, they were a very, very good team. You ever notice that these reporters, whenever they ask their questions, they gotta go like this, and they gotta move their eyebrow, raise their eyebrows, Don't you think, Mr. President, that you ought to do this? Okay, that's my mini rant for tonight. I'll be glad when this is all over with. I will be really glad when this is all over with. I'll just put it to you that way, and we can get back. Whoever runs the country, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And the World Series they're showing here locally on my Fox station, Channel 13 here in Tampa. They do a preview show just specifically for the Rays, give you the Rays point of view, and then they show the pregame show of the Fox network at 7:30, and then they have the game at 8 or shortly after 8. And Joe Buck has got to be the busiest guy in television right now, not just sports television, but television entirely, because every day he's got a different assignment. Like tomorrow, he's going to be doing the Philly and Eagles and Giants game, and then he comes back, does the World Series, and I imagine if the one team wins four in a row, if the Dodgers win in a sweep, he goes back to do football on Sunday, and he's not getting a hell of a lot of time off, considering the fact that he's both the lead football announcer and the lead baseball announcer. Personally, I would like to see Fox either get rid of Buck as the lead football or the lead baseball announcer and just give the mantle to somebody else, because that is just too much work for one person. And yeah, I know back in the day, the old guys like Kurt Gowdy and Howard Cosell, they could do that. But of course, Cosell used to drink a lot too. So anyway, if he got a little helper like a good fifth of vodka, then obviously you could do all these games. There was an Al Michaels book that Cosell would do a lot of the games in the bag. Not that I blame him. The Major League Baseball had a terrible product back in 1984. Sorry, folks. Oh boy, but yeah, get somebody else to do the lead announcing for baseball or football, one of the two. Just say, Joe, you've been doing this a long time. Just drop one. You want to be the number two and the number three guy. We use you every now and then. But I would just have him do one sport and be the lead announcer on one sport. Speaking of lead announcers, I was not really all that surprised to hear Doc Emmerich is retiring, and I always thought Doc Emmerich was one of the top flight announcers in any sport. He did, of course, he did the NHL for a long time, and he also, when the Olympics came around, of course, the Olympics were supposed to be this summer, but thanks to COVID, didn't happen. He would also do water polo. He would do men's and women's water polo, which was kind of interesting and kind of like hockey. So I guess that's why they would get Emmerich to do it. Very good announcer. I always thought that he was very well prepared. The phrases he would use to describe a pass, he must have like 100 different phrases to describe a pass or describe a shot, and he could always fit them in. He could always fit them in perfectly. And I know Doc is going to still be on NBC doing essays. He's going to be the Jack Whitaker of hockey. And I wish him well, because I always thought Emmerich was one of the best announcer pound for pound, with apologies to Al Michaels, Jim Nantz, and some others. I always thought Emmerich was the best. So we're down to 35 seconds. See what happens? I was complaining earlier. We had over 5 minutes to talk to you people. Jeez, how am I gonna fill it? Well, I filled it nicely. So we're counting down. Stand by, folks. 15 seconds, and we will start doing this game. Good evening and welcome to Big Polly's World of Sports Sims, and tonight we present HTFL football. It's Tennessee, the Titans, traveling to St. Louis to take on the Maroons, who I will probably call the Cardinals by mistake a few times tonight. Hello everybody, I'm Big Polly coming to you, and we're going to the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis, Missouri, which I is one of the few, no, I would say a few football arenas, but I have seen it personally in my travels across the country. St. Louis will be a 9-point favorite, and I am not surprised they are not favored by more. And we welcome you to tonight's action. It is, of course, perfect weather inside the dome, under the dome, at the Edward Jones Dome. Tennessee won the toss deferred. St. Louis will receive to start the first half. St. Louis will be in the maroon, kind of the St. Louis Cardinals colors of old. Tennessee in kind of a Houston Oilerish color, Oilerish setup. Steve McNair and Kurt Warner, the quarterbacks. Jeff Fisher and Dick Vermeil, the coaches. Terry Metcalf, his son Eric, plays for Cleveland in the HTFL. And he's going to return it 4 yards deep. He's feeling a little daring, folks. See if it pays off for him. It's a 29-yard return to the 25, tackled by Williams. Let's set the St. Louis offense, the Tennessee defense for you. It's Anderson and Edwards at running back. Holt and Bruce at wideout, Smith at tight end. Of course, Kurt Warner, who played his college ball at Northern Iowa, he is quarterback. Of course, he made it big with the St. Louis Rams before moving on to the Arizona Cardinals. And he's oftentimes TV analyst these days. Pace, Dobler, DeMarco, Timmerman, Deerdorf, your offensive line, your front line for. Think of it as a front line sometimes for the Cardinals. For the Tennessee defense, Kurtz, Vanderbosch, Hainsworth, and Casey, your front four. Bullock, Tulloch, Brown, your linebackers. Bullock is the only 9 in the lineup. Finnegan, Roll, Byard, and Griffin are your defensive backs. And let's see what St. Louis can do against a comparatively weak defense compared to some others. Otis Anderson bounces to the right side, picks up 3. Vandenbosch on the stop. For the, who are they playing tonight? The Titans. Oh yeah, that's the ticket. We'll go Edwards, screen pass on 2nd and 7. Warner on the mark to Edwards. Edwards close to the 40. He's at the 40, a gain of 12. On to tackle Brown. And let's take a look real quick at Kurt Warner. His rating 95.3 in the replay. 98.2 was his real mark. And as I was saying, he's out of Northern Iowa. And he has had 3 games over 300 yards, including a 400-yard game against Detroit and a 45-20 win. So he could light it up if he chooses to, but I think slow and steady is going to be how the Maroons go. Blitz coming, screen to Anderson, O.J. Anderson, 1st and 10. He's open, 40, 45, and that's where he stopped. Bullock on the tackle, a gain of 5 yards. So it's 2nd and 5. Ball now moves up to the 45. And they're going to go to the air for the first time tonight. Torrey Holt. It was dumped underneath to somebody. It was Smith, Jackie Smith.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense. Number 22, 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
The Titans getting very easily frustrated as Roll picks up 15 for unnecessary roughness. 1st and 10, Maroons at the 32, and they're just going to try to keep it on the ground here and just keep it inside between the tackles. Anderson, a pickup of 3 to make it 2nd and 7 at the 29. I think the game plan might be don't do anything too flashy, just keep the cards close to the vest. It's going to be a play-action medium fly to Torrey Holt here on 2nd and 7. And Holt, just overthrows him. Incomplete pass, and Holt was double covered, so it was not very prudent to be attempting to throw there. We'll go Jackie Smith on the short hitch, but a marker.
False start. Offense. Number 69. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 3rd down.
They get Conrad Dobler for a false start, who ended his career in Buffalo of all places. Cross to Sonny Randall on 3rd and 12 in the 3 wide receiver set. Incomplete. So Zerline will kick from 51 yards out. Right on the money, and it's 3-0. in favor of the Maroons. And that drive, 9 plays, 41 yards, and only took 3:17 off the clock. Mariani, McAdley, and Mason back deep. Touchback. So McNair goes to work. Let's look at his offense. Johnson and Hall at running back. Mason, Bennett at receiver. Wycheck tight ending. Ross, Scott, Hartwig, Olson, Runyon, your offensive line. McNair out of Alcorn State. Your quarterback. For the defense of St. Louis, it is Carter, Little, Brockers, and Farr, your front four. Farr might be the point where they go to because he is only rated a 6. EJ Jr., Meinert, and Stallings, your linebackers. Worley, Fisher, Wilson, and Hill are your defensive backs for the Maroons. On 1st and 10 at the 20, it's McNair giving it to Johnson, who picks up 4. Wilson on the stop for St. Louis. 2nd and 6 at the 24. It's going to be a pitch to Johnson this time. And that is a gain of 12. Pat Fisher makes the tackle for the Maroons. 1st and 10 at the 36. I should point out St. Louis is a combination of the Cardinals until they moved to Arizona. First they were called the Phoenix Cardinals, then the Arizona Cardinals. And the Rams, in the 20 years or so, they were in St. Louis. Of course, they won a world championship in St. Louis, defeating the Tennessee Titans. 1st and 10 at the 36. In fact, the quarterback matchup was Steve McNair and Kurt Warner, just as it was tonight. EJ Jr. sacking Steve McNair. McNair, a very agile quarterback, but he couldn't get away from that rush. 2nd and 17 at the 29. So Tennessee in a hole. They're going to screen it to Johnson, but it's incomplete.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 85. 5-yard penalty.
I will take the penalty. 2nd and 22. They bring in Kendall Wright as the third wideout. Tennessee 3 and 6. St. Louis 6 and 3. That is to Johnson, who gains 4 yards. And that's going to be a 3rd and a cab ride from Alton, Illinois. 3rd and 18 at the 28. There's your throw. Incomplete. And the Titans will have to punt. There is your punt. It was Kern punting. Kern, one of the best punters in the NFL right now. And Hakeem made a fair catch at the 22, so the punt went 50, and the net will be 50 since there was no return. Anderson, trap right, 8:14 left first quarter. Ball to 22, now at the 25 as he gains 3 yards. That sets up 2nd and 7. We're going to go Smith on the short hitch. Hitch pays off for 9 yards. Jackie Smith on the catch. 1st and 10 at the 34. Edwards, a dive play. St. Louis really wants to play it conservatively with the lead. It's like a boxer wanting to go to the body, go to the body, go to the body, and then in later rounds the head's wide open. 2nd and 6 at the 38. We're going to look to Anderson, pitch right. Anderson had one of the longest plays of the season against Miami, a rush of somewhere in the neighborhood of 97 yards. Gain of 10 for Anderson. Last week against Green Bay, he had 25 carries and 127 yards. It's going to be 1st and 10, the ball at the 48. We'll have some stuff to tell you about at the end of the first quarter. A gain of 3. We'll tell you the next 5 games that will be played right here on the HTFL, Lord willing, and my creek doesn't rise. 2nd and 7 at the 49. Pitch right, Otis Anderson again. And Anderson with running room, 40, 37, a gain of 12. Anderson getting a little tired, so we'll go to Sid Edwards, El Cid, trap right, which we're going to turn into a screen. Will Sid be open? Yes, he will be. 40, close to the 30 to the 31. He has 2 catches, 18 yards. They'll look to Anderson again, trap left. Free safety is in run support, so this is a good time to go medium hitch to Jackie Smith. Right on the money to Jackie, a gain of 17. No dropping that pass like he famously and regretfully did in Super Bowl 13 when he played for the Dallas Cowboys, and a play that was a turning point in that great game. Ball to 14, a 1st and 10. Edwards, trap, it's going to be off tackle left, and Edwards a gain of a yard. That sets up 2nd and 9, ball to 13. If you're just queuing up to this point in the video, if you're just tuning in on the live stream, it is 3-0 Maroons, 2:29 left, opening quarter. Zerline hit a field goal, and that's been the only scoring so far. Edwards, no gain. Casey on the tackle. 3rd and 8. This is the 11th play of the drive. It has taken 6 minutes and 28 seconds. They'll go to Sonny Randall on a slant. Incomplete, so not on the money to Sonny. And Zerline's going to have to come on to try another field goal, and the Maroons have to settle for 3 again. This from 30 yards out, and it's good. So Zerline has made it a 6-0 game, and we have 1:08 left in the opening quarter. He has hit from 51, and now just recently from 50. Mariani back deep for the Titans, a touchback. 1st and 10, the ball at the 20. Nearing the end of the first quarter. That's incomplete. That was intended for Johnson, but E.J. Jr. nearly had a pick. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Throw caught. That was to Frank Wycheck, and Stallings out of the game. Actually, he will remain in the game. The injury not yet known. 3rd and 3 at the 27. Can McNair convert a first down here? The answer being yes. Wycheck, a catch of 8 yards, and that'll do it for the first quarter. It's 6-0 St. Louis, and we'll show you the next 5 games right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel, HTFL football. Vegas and Green Bay, that'll be tomorrow night, 7:30. I don't know if it'll be live or taped, but we'll have it for you one way or another, as Debbie Harry would say. On Friday, it's the Monday night game, LA and Washington. On Monday, we start a new week with the 2 Thanksgiving games. First, it'll be Atlanta and Detroit, 7:30. I know it's not Thanksgiving now, but in game time and season time, it is the Thanksgiving week, week 12. Dallas and Green Bay will be the 2nd Thanksgiving game, 7:30. Bring your parkas. Wednesday, it'll be San Francisco and Washington, and that ought to be a good game a week from tonight. All games should start at 7:30 right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. So this has been interesting so far, as St. Louis looks like the dominant team, but it's not showing up on the scoreboard as of yet, with the score being 6-0. Tennessee has run 7 plays, 28 yards. The Maroons 18 plays and 96 yards. 1st and 10 at the 35. This is Johnson, head of steam, near midfield, tackled at the 49 by Larry Wilson. Actually, it was Fisher who made the tackle. Wilson nearly had him. So Tennessee just 51 yards shy, 1st and 10 at the 49. Of course, in the CFL, they have a 55-yard line. Gain of 18. McNair to Wycheck, and of course, a lot of NFL players had come from the CFL, especially back in the 70s and 80s with the advent of satellite television. There was a lot of interest in the CFL. 1st and 10 at the 33. Of course, the CFL did not play this year because of COVID, and that was a shame. So no Grey Cup for them this year. Gain of 11. That was McNair to Bennett. A gain of 11. Of course, their rules are a little different. 3 downs to get 10 yards. 110-yard field, a wider field. 12 players on each side. 1st and 10 at the 22. And gain of 7,
Holding.
but
Offense,
we'll check it.
Number 85, 10-yard penalty.
Mason called for holding. There was interest in Canadian football here in America going back to 1962. 1st and 10, the ball at the 32. It's either 61 or 62. It was the game, the Grey Cup game in Toronto they played, where they had to come back the next day because the fog. Think of the Fog Bowl in 1988 between Chicago and Philadelphia, and multiply that by about 5 times, and that was how bad the fog was in Toronto that day. I believe it was Winnipeg. Don't trying to remember who Winnipeg played that day. I think it was Hamilton, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Second and 13 at the 25. And that's a throw and a catch. McNair to Wycheck, a gain of 9. But they had to stop the game about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they had to finish it the next day because the fog was so bad. Third and 4 at the 16. McNair, gain of a yard, and that'll be short of the first down. Fisher on the tackle for the Cardinals. Here's your point after, not point after, but Barones will try a 32-yard field goal, which is good. And it's 6-3 in favor of the Maroons. Now, the interesting thing about that Grey Cup game is ABC carried it. It was on the Wide World of Sports. First and 10, ball 20. I don't know if it was the first ever CFL game shown in the United States, but it had to be kind of interesting to see how the fans would have reacted in the early 60s to a CFL game because of all the funky rules. Gain of 3. Especially the handling of the Rouge rule, where it's what basically is a touchback in American football is 1 point. In Canadian football. We'll go to Anderson again, trap left, second and 7, gain 3 yards that time, gains none here, and it's third and 7. To Bruce on the short hitch. He's got it, but he's going to be short of the first, a gain of 6. Fourth and a yard. With 8:41 left in the first half, Donnie Jones will come on for the first time. He'll punt it away. Not a bad punt. You see Mariani backing up a little bit. The punt went 49 yards, first and 10 at the 22. Of course, they have a weird rule where if the game is tied...
Offsides.
Well, we'll tell you in a minute.
Number 75, 5-yard penalty.
And a team's kicking a field goal late, far, offsides for St. Louis, so it's first and 5. They put a kicker back to retrieve the field goal in case it's missed, and he could kick it out of there. Second and 3, and they had a game a few years ago between Toronto and Montreal where they were kicking the ball back and forth at each other. Second and 3 at the 29, because even a Rouge in a tie game, 1 point beats you. Gain of a yard by somebody here. I didn't catch it, folks. I'm sorry. Johnson got the carry that time, a gain of 4. So the results of those last 2 plays, a first and 10 at the 34, and maybe I shouldn't tell too many stories. Back to the game. McNair to Wycheck, a gain of 15. Wycheck's been awful busy. 5 catches, 57 yards. First and 10 at the 49. Of course, Wycheck was the lateral thrower in that Music City Miracle in 2000 when they played Buffalo and got a last-second touchdown on a kick return. No, I do not want to challenge the spot of the ball. Less than 50-50 odds of getting it. First and 10 at the St. Louis 41. Here comes Tennessee all of a sudden. Johnson, a gain of 3. Stallings on the stop. Second and 7 at the 38. McNair, incomplete. Looking for Wycheck. Let's look at McNair real quick. He has had no 300-yard games, interestingly enough. His rating is 77 in the replay, or this HTFL season, and he comes in rated at 88.5. Third and 7, the ball at the 38, so he's one of the quarterbacks who hasn't had a good year in the HTFL. Screen to Johnson, past the 30, near the 25, tackled at the 26 by Worley, and it's first and 10 there. So Tennessee in field goal range, and a field goal would tie the game. Johnson with a burst of speed He gains 11. Johnson now 9 carries and 58 yards. I do not want to call a timeout. We'll let them call timeouts. Johnson again, 10 to the 7, a gain of 8. 2nd and 2, ball at the 7, and we go to the 2-minute warning. We do. It is 6-3 in favor of St. Louis. Eddie George is coming in. He will wear 27. He's out of Ohio State. And a lot of people, when the Tennessee lineups were announced for this HTFL season, surprised that George was not the starter. 2nd and 2, McNair, a touchdown, and Tennessee takes the lead. Derek Mason with the catch from McNair, and it is now a 9-6 Tennessee lead. So St. Louis has to get it in gear. Kick is good by Maroons. 10-6 with a minute 52 left to go, but I imagine that Kurt Warner is not too bad at the 2-minute drill. We're going to see right now. Each team with 3 timeouts left, and right now there's a minute 52. Medium fly, Torrey Holt out of North Carolina State. He was double covered, and that pass falls incomplete. We'll screen it, and we're going to look for one of our wide receivers here, which is going to be Bruce. They call him Bruce. Let's see what he can do here. That's caught, 25, close to the first down, a gain of 7. They'll go no huddle, short pass, and look for Bruce again. Just throw him off by going to him twice. Incomplete, and it's 4th and 3. Donnie Jones to punt, and now Tennessee will have plenty of time, a minute 24 to go. Cardinal and the Maroons did not use a single timeout. 51-yard punt, no return. 1st and 10, ball to 22, a minute 18 to go. Anybody's watching the broadcast, welcome. See, it's a sparse crowd tonight, but that's fine. I do these games anyway. 2nd and 10 at the 22. McNair, Johnson, probably the CFL story that scared everybody away. And now I will call a timeout. A gain of 3 for 3rd and 7. A minute 7 to go. McNair looking incomplete. And St. Louis will get another crack at it with 2 timeouts left and a minute 4 to go. So the game seems to be going Tennessee's way in terms of tempo. And Hakeem returned that 9 yards. The punt went 49, so the net was 40. Randall, a medium out route. Caught down the left sideline and a gain of 15. First down, and we have 50 seconds to go. Long slant to Holt on 1st and 10 at midfield. That's caught, and a gain of 22. Stopping the clock at 43 seconds. We will call timeout. And it's 1st and 10 at the 28. To Bruce, medium out. That is caught at about the 10. In fact, right at the 10, a gain of... Actually, they're going to call it at the 9. The gain was 19 yards. Screen to Otis Anderson. Incomplete. When you get close to the end zone, you can't really screen all that well. We'll go cross to Jackie Smith on 2nd down. Off his hands, incomplete. I spoke too soon about him dropping a pass. 3rd and goal at the 9. So now, an interesting situation developing here. We will go medium cross to Sonny Randall. And that's incomplete. Warner, 11 of 19, 126 yards. They'll kick the field goal here. Zerline from 26 is good. And it'll just be a 1-point game into half at all likelihood, 10-9. Mariani back deep for the Titans. Another touchback, 16 seconds left in the half. Chris Johnson, another gain of 7 yards, which gets him to 12 carries and 76 on the day. And that'll do it for the first half. Your score, Tennessee 10, St. Louis 9. And I will pause for a moment Don't go anywhere, folks. And welcome back. So yeah, I told you I wouldn't be gone long. Second half of action about to begin. It is 10-9 in favor of Tennessee. If you have just tuned into this live stream and you didn't hear me mention the score about 30 seconds ago, 28 plays, 171 yards for Tennessee. St. Louis, 30 plays, 168 yards. So a very tight game, and probably a lot tighter than the Maroons fans would have liked here at the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis. Mariani back deep, another touchback as this kickoff team for St. Louis really doing the job. First and 10 at the 20. McNair, 10 of 15, 101 yards, one touchdown. Johnson has gained another 12 yards. He's at 88 on the day. First and 10 at the 32. McNair over the middle, and he finds, I believe that is Wycheck, and it is Wilson on the tackle. Gain of 17. Wilson's already at 10 tackles on the day. That's a lot of work for a safety to be doing. And it's first and 10 at the 49. Johnson, gain of 4.
Holding,
but it's going to come back.
Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
It is Scott called for holding. First and 20 now. Ball at the 39. It's going to be a draw play to Johnson. He does not gain anything. Carter on the stop for St. Louis. Second and 20 down at the 39. A throw, incomplete, injury. That was Brockers that was hurt. His return questionable. So Rowe is going to come in. A 6th defensive tackle, Bob Rowe. I do not think that is the Bob Rowe in question, though. He's out of Western Michigan, a 6'4", 270 defensive tackle. That looks a little old to be 1970. Third and 20 at the 39. And a sack. Todd Light came up from safety and makes the tackle for a sack. Stovall is out for the game. He was in as I think it was a dime defensive back. We'll see here. Yeah, they were playing dime, and Stovall got hurt. Fourth and 32 for Tennessee, so they have to put it away here. And Hakeem past the 35 to the 36-yard line. 10-9 in favor of the Titans. Story time, as I tell you, Otis Anderson will trap it right on first and 10. Dan Deerdorf was, of course, one of the tackles on this St. Louis team. He was a longtime commentator for CBS and then ABC a little later, and then we went back to CBS. Pitch right. And early in his commentating career, gain of 6. And it's third and 2. He did play-by-play. He's one of the few guys to do play-by-play, not too far along in his career. If you ever watched the Tampa Bay Detroit game where Eric Hipple gets destroyed by David Logan in Tampa, that's Dan Deerdorf doing the commentary on it. He was not a bad play-by-play guy. Third and 2, so we're just going to dive with Anderson, just trying to sneak him over, and he's got it. Gain of 4. Anderson, 11 carries, 49 yards. Of course, he did boxing for ABC for many years with Alex Walu, and I always thought his play-by-play was rather sharp. And I remember one fight he called in London between Mark Breland and Lloyd Hunnigan, where he's yelling at because Breland was beating the tar out of him. Al Red Sox fan, if you see this, you'll probably know the fight I am talking about. Medium fly to Jackie Smith on first and 10 from the 48. And it was one of the big fights where Mark Breland actually looked rather sharp. And Breland was just pasting Hunnigan, and Deerdorf starts really, screaming at the ref, "Hey, stop the fight! Stop the fight! You guys getting creamed." Anderson, loss of a yard, and they finally do stop the fight. It was like an early round knockout, say like a third or fourth round knockout or something like that. Second and 11 at the 42. So Deerdorf was very talented on television. Of Of course, I don't think he's doing TV anymore. Medium fly to Jackie Smith. Because I think I know one of the last few times I saw him, he was not moving around very well. So wasn't mobile, and that's probably why he stopped doing games at some point in the early 21st century. Okay, 3rd and 11, we're going to go medium out to Isaac Bruce. Split's coming, so we're going to change it to a medium slant to Sonny Randall. Keep him guessing. Here's your throw, incomplete. Marker.
Holding offense. Number 69, 10-yard penalty.
This would be 59 yards from Zerline. No, they actually took the penalty, interestingly enough. You really want to give Kurt Warner a chance to throw it deep? Well, we're going to take it. Torrey Holt, long pass. Incomplete. 4th and 21 at the 48 of St. Louis. Donnie Jones will punt to the sideline. We passed the 8 o'clock hour because that's when my screen dims a little bit. 1st and 10 at the 24. I see Joe Buck and John Smoltz talking. 1st and 10. 8:30 left, third quarter. McNair with another completion. He's 12 of 18 for the day, and that's a season high for Frank Wycheck. 7 catches for 80 yards. 2nd and 4 at the 30. That's one of those weapons I'm surprised Tennessee doesn't use more. 2nd and 4 at the 30. 1st down. And am I going to challenge the spot? Yes.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the 1st down. No timeout will be charged.
Usually I like to keep that in my back pocket, but that seemed like a gimme. 3rd and inches. You never know what will happen on 3rd and inches. Johnson, gain of 2 yards, and Little on the tackle. 1st and 10 at 36. 7:32 left to go. McNair, a 1st down, a lot more, gain of 15. 1st and 10 at the 49. There was a Sunday night game, I want to say late 90s, where they're playing against Tampa Bay, Tennessee and Tampa Bay, and McNair just destroyed them with their legs. This was after the Bucks got good and made the playoffs in 97. And that's a nice catch and run. That was to Hall, and he picks up 16 yards. And I believe that is his first catch of the day. Yes, it is. 1st and 10 at the 33. Tennessee really sticking it to St. Louis here, showing no signs of letting up. A gain of 4 by Johnson. Johnson now closing in on 100. He's at 98 yards on 17 carries. 2nd and 6 at the 29. That's a throw and a catch to Wycheck. Yes. Gain of 9, and Wycheck now with his 8th catch of the day, 89 yards. So they're clicking. Tennessee is clicking and not going away. 1st and 10.
False start.
A marker.
Offense. Number 71, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Roos, R-O-O-S. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his name. 1st and 15 at the 25. McNair. Looking, finding, touchdown. That went to Derek Mason, his 2nd touchdown catch of the game. His first was for 7, this for 25. Kick good by Baronis, 17-9 with 3:50 left to go. Metcalf back deep for St. Louis. It's a touchback. So now St. Louis has to get busy here. Pitch right, Otis Anderson. Anderson will have the 1st down. He gains 13. Brown on the stop for Tennessee. And it's 1st and 10. And I think it's time to go for the long ball. Looking for Holt. Torrey Holt. There it goes. Caught. And a marker. Let's check that marker.
Offsides. Defense. Number 31, 5-yard penalty.
Against Tennessee, so it will be declined. It'll be 1st down. Tennessee at the 44. We'll go Sonny Randall, medium out. Throw, incomplete, but a marker.
Encroachment, defense. Number 95, 5-yard penalty.
Tennessee just getting a little too antsy. Hainsworth called for the encroachment. Screen to Anderson. Otis Anderson. That's an incompletion. 2nd and 5. We'll go to Anderson and try to get it with a pitch left. And there goes Anderson, but right back to the line, and that's it. A 3rd and 5 now. Jackie Smith, short cross. Not there, incomplete. It would be a 42-yard field goal from here on 4th and 5. Donnie Jones. Donnie Moore used to, tragic story Donnie Moore was. Donnie Jones is going to pooch punt it. Try to see if they can pin the Titans, and no, touchback. Of course, Donnie Moore was that reliever on the California Angels who gave up the home run with 1 strike left to get that kept the Red Sox alive in the 86 ALCS, and he later committed suicide. 1st and 10 at the 20. Loss of a yard.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 89. 5-yard penalty.
Wycheck called for illegal motion. 1st and 15 at the 15. McNair. Incomplete. No catch. 2nd and 15 at the 15. St. Louis trailing by 8. And that is a surprise because they were 9-point favorites to win this game. McNair brought down by E.J. Jr. 3rd and 14 now at the 16. McNair will run. Dives and dodges and weaves for a 12-yard gain. He needed 14. So, Tennessee will punt it away. And something good happened, but we don't know what. It may not be good. That's usually a sign of a fumbled kickoff. Ruse. Indeed, it was St. Louis fumbling the kickoff, fumbling the punt. Hakeem muffed it. Ruse pounced on it, and it's 1st and 10 Tennessee at the 23 as we start the 4th quarter. And I started the 4th quarter before I could get my announcement in. 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 19 when we come back, and Chris Johnson has gone over 100 yards. So let's do what I was supposed to do and tell you about the recap show Monday night, 6:30. We will autoplay 6 of the 16 games for week number 12 and show them to you. We'll show you the standings as they update, and we'll show you the playoff projections before we start the week 12 games as who would make the playoffs if the season ended after week 11, which it won't because we got 6 more weeks to go. So that's right here, 6:30 on Monday. I will probably tape that Saturday right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sim channel before you be available for you Monday, 6:30, Lord willing, and if the creek doesn't rise. 2nd and 6. Now let's get back to the 4th quarter. Ball at the St. Louis 19, and St. Louis in a spot here. Johnson, a 1st down at the 10 to the 9. Fisher on the tackle. 1st and goal at the 9. And a touchdown. That went to Johnson. Chris Johnson. Wait a minute. They're going to go for 2 here. Bo Scaife is going to come on as a 2nd tight end. Here's your 2-point play. No good. Don't know why you'd go for 2 there, but that's the AI of Action PC football for you. Needs a little work. 23 to 9, and that gives St. Louis a little breathing room because now they just need 2 converted touchdowns. 13:30 left in regulation. Metcalf back deep. He will down it. And it's 1st and 10, St. Louis at the 20. Anderson trap right. That's a gain of 6. Griffin on the stop. Bruce, medium out. Incomplete. 3rd and 4. If you like the channel, don't be afraid to like the game you're seeing and subscribe to the channel. So we've always got some interesting stuff, even on the weekends. It's going to be a screen to Anderson. Will he get to the 1st down marker? Oh, yes, he will. 40. out to the 42. I forgot to post a promo at Digital to Dice Podcast. They had a new podcast today, so a shout out to Dave and Uncle Ron. Ball at the 42. Uncle Ron's actually a couple months younger than I am. I'm September of 71. He's November. Off tackle right, Sid Edwards. He's got it. Into Tennessee territory at the 46. Tulloch on the tackle. Warner having an off day, 15 to 28, 188 yards. Well played game as Tennessee has been turnover free and St. Louis has had the only turnover of the game. On a 1st and 10, let's get one of those touchdowns back. We're going to go deep to Torrey Holt. Play action, bomb. There it goes. Incomplete. Try to stretch the Titan defense out a little bit. Back to Holt, medium out on 2nd and 10. He's got it. Going down the left sideline as Tennessee moves right to left. A gain of 17. And it's now at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. The World Series game has just begun. 1 out. 1st inning, no score as of yet. That is, if you're watching this live at 8:12 p.m. on October the 21st. If you're not watching on 8:12 p.m. on the 21st, then that has no relevance to you. Medium fly, Torrey Holt, 1st and 10 at the 20. Completed to Otis Anderson, who gained 7. Now this would be a good time to go play action. We're gonna do it. We're gonna medium hitch it to Jackie Smith, number 81. He's got it, and Jackie Smith, bless his heart. It's 23-15, and don't count St. Louis out yet. We have 9:08 to go. Zerline, good with the extra point, 23-16. And now, crowd will probably try to whip behind their Maroons here. The kickoff is deep, and it's a touchback. Defense has got to make a convincing stop here. 1st and 10 at the 20. 9:08 to go. Johnson breaks free, and that's 17 more yards to get him to 138 on the day. And a home run for Tampa Bay. How about that? That was Brandon Lau who just hit the home run. So 1st and 10 at the 37 for Tennessee as we get back to the game. McNair's going to throw deep. Incomplete.
Offsides. Defense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty.
I was watching that ball fly out of Globe Lake Park in Dallas, Arlington, Texas area, and it just caught me for a moment. 1st and 5. Ball at the 42. That's a throw and an incompletion. Drew Bennett with his 2nd drop of the day. 2nd and 5. St. Louis needs a stop. Ball at the 42. Johnson, another big hole. All the way past the 40 to the 39. He gains 19 yards. He's at 157 on the day. 7:59 left. Maroons got to keep him off the scoreboard here. Throw, sack by Rowe, but marker.
Offsides. Defense.
Oh.
Number 91. 5-yard penalty.
Every time St. Louis gets a break, it's taken away from them. Offsides defense, so it's 1st and 5. There's the replay there that I didn't mean to show you. Sometimes it just does that. 1st and 5 at the 34. Gain of 4. 2nd and a yard. Ball at the 30. St. Louis needs a stop. They don't get it there. Johnson gains 3. He is now at 164 on the day. 24 carries. 1st and 10. Ball at the 27. That's a throw and a catch. Bennett gains 8. 2nd and 2. 5:38 to go. Johnson will get another 1st down. He picks up 3. 25 carries and 167 yards for him. 1st and 10. Ball now at the 16. So St. Louis needs a turnover. Gain of 3. Worley on the stop. Johnson now at 170. 2nd and 7 at the 13. McNair sacked by Farr. And Hall was hurt. Is it Hall? Yes, he is out for the remainder of the game. And it's 3rd and 17 at the 23. McNair throws. Touchdown. Johnson, his second touchdown of the day. He ran one in from 9 yards out. Now he has caught one from 23. 29-16, making it 30-16. And this is why you don't overlook games. And St. Louis getting a little bit of a lesson here tonight. 3:07 left. St. Louis will have to get cracking. Metcalf to the 20, to the 30. A nice return to the 32, but it will come back. 3:07 to go. We're going to work the sidelines. Medium out, Sonny Randall. 1st and 10 at the 8-yard line. Casey goes down, defensive tackle. He will not return. Marks is going to come into the game. That is Sean Derrick Marks out of Auburn. 2nd and 10. They'll look for Holt. Short out. Blitz coming, so we're going to change it to a short slant. He's got it. 10, 20. Tackled at the 20. A gain of 14. St. Louis will hurry. They pretty much have to here. Long out to Holt. Almost caught. Roll got a tip on it, and it's 2nd and 10. Bruce, medium hitch. 2:22 left. He's got it. That's a first down. A gain of 12, but they'll have to hurry to get a playoff before 2-minute warning. Smith, short out. They do not get the playoff before the 2-minute warning. Each team with 3 timeouts. It's 30-16. Holt, medium out route. That's caught. A first down on the left sideline. A gain of 17. Warner now 21, 37, 277, 1 touchdown. He did not get out of bounds, so they will hurry. Medium out, Sonny Randall. Thought he did get out of bounds, but he did not. That's incomplete. Randall on a long slant on 2nd and 10 at the 49. That is caught. Torrey Holt goes to 100 on the day. And now St. Louis is going to start using timeouts. 1:29 left. That was number 1. Out to Bruce on 3rd and 3. And that's a catch. He's tackled in bounds. A gain of 20. Warner over 300 yards on the day. And another timeout will be called. At 22. We're going to look for Holt. And we are going to look for the medium slant route. About a 50-50 chance it goes for 6. Instead, it's thrown and caught by Bruce. 2nd and 2, and the clock will run. It's medium out. Sacked by Hainsworth, but let's check the penalty.
Contact, defense.
Oh, a first down.
Number 31, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Finnegan gives them the first down at the 9. We'll go Smith again. Slant route. Go over the middle and hope he scores. Incomplete. 2nd and goal. Short out. Bruce. Fumble recovered by Tennessee, and that will do it. Marks recovers the fumble for the Titans. A big win for them. Chris Brown has entered the game as running back, and McNair can just take a knee twice, and Tennessee will win 30-16. A big win for them. Even at 4-6, that'll keep them alive in the Southern Conference playoff race. So let's get the stats done. Your MVP, I think, would be Wycheck, might be Chris Johnson, and it is Chris Johnson. 170 yards on the day. And Tennessee had a 10-point run and a 14-point run. And you knew it was going to go bad for St. Louis when they only hit 2 field goals on those first 2 possessions. It just wasn't their day. 30-16. We look at the team stats. 373 yards for Tennessee, 376 for St. Louis. Every team scored in the red zone except once. Tennessee went 5 out of 6, 4 touchdowns, a field goal, and when St. Louis hit the red zone, they only got 2 field goals. 14 penalties in the game, so a little bit sloppily played. 57 plays for Tennessee, 60 for St. Louis. Tennessee had the ball 33-40 and out first downed St. Louis 25-22. So let's look at the outstanding performances. McNair outdueled Kurt Warner. McNair had a 132.5 rating, and Warner was only 88.6. No turnovers, but just a lot of incompletions. So that Tennessee defense was pretty good after all, at least tailored to what St. Louis normally does. 170 yards for Johnson and 108 yards receiving on 6 catches for Torrey Holt. Those were the offensive standouts. Defensively, Wilson with 13 tackles for St. Louis, and Roll led the way for Tennessee with 6 tackles. So your final 30-16. We take a look at the standings now, with the Tampa Bay Dodger game in the second inning, second game of the World Series. As I record this, Tennessee goes to 4-6. In the South Division, there's a 3-way tie between Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Houston at the moment. Carolina would get the 1 seed. New Orleans would get the 2 seed at 5-5. Then you got a 3-way tie at 4-6, which would probably be broken by net points. Houston is minus 47 in net points right now. Indianapolis minus 53. And Tennessee is minus 57. So it would probably go Houston, Indianapolis. Houston would be the 3 seed. Indianapolis would be the 4 seed. And you got 3 teams fighting it out for 2 positions, and they're all 4-6. In the Eastern Conference, St. Louis is now 6-4, and that gives hope for Philadelphia, New England, and Dallas in the Eastern Conference. They're all 5-5 and a game behind. Washington yet to play. They are 80 points ahead on net points. New York is 83. So if New York holds on, well, actually, New York already played this week. If Washington were to lose to Los Angeles, New York would be the 1 seed, Washington would be 2, St. Louis would be 3, and you'd have a 3-way fight between Dallas, Philadelphia, and New England for the 4th spot, which right now Dallas is minus 11 in net points, Philadelphia plus 4, New England minus 3, so it would go to Philadelphia. So, with that being said, your next games are going to be, and you know what, did I ever hit the go live button? I think I did. Let me just double check. Oh yeah, I've been recording a while now. Never mind, folks. Your next games, as I go back and scramble to see the pages that I were on. Okay. Tomorrow night, Las Vegas, Green Bay. Friday night, Los Angeles, Washington, the Monday night game. Atlanta, Detroit, Dallas, and Green Bay will play the 2 Thanksgiving Day games. And that is going to be it, as I just take these Week 12 games and already insert myself as the human team in all of these tilts. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well, no matter where you are, no matter when you see this. Godspeed, God bless. And we're going to